Hi, it's Jay. I just wanted to welcome you to episode 1 of the Artist Interview series. So, if you're thinking about becoming a DJ or you're already a DJ, I really hope that this will inspire you. Now, today we have Taglo, who's based in Byron Bay. So, he DJs, he's played at some of the best clubs in Queensland and interstate. He also runs his own event brand called Eden. So these do events in Queensland, Gold Coast, and in Melbourne. He's also a rising producer at the moment. I really hope that you enjoy.
I probably started when I was around 22, so I'm 32 now, so about 10 years. Started off playing more trance, so I started off in the trance scene because that's just like the music that I was into at the time. I loved it, and over time it's kind of changed. It's got slower and slower, so now I'm more in I guess because I've got older too, so everything's gotten slower, even me. So just like, so now it's all like pretty much progressive. I guess is more my style. I make some deep as well, the more engineer deep kind of sounds. Then I go to the more progressive, like proggy stuff. Yeah, that's what I do. My thing. So it was probably when, there's a couple of experiences. Like first one was I was living in Denmark, in Copenhagen at the time, and Tiesto was playing, and he was doing his Elements of Life tour. It's like a famous DVD when you play like an open to close set. And that was the first time I had ever seen an open to close set before. So I went to his show. I was like, no one wanted to go with me, and I found one person. Like, yeah, all right, let's go. So just went with them. And yeah, I just walked in there and just like seeing a DJ go from open to close and having the whole like crowd just engaged the whole time. I was just like, what the hell is this? This is sick. And it's like that's what got me into the trance stuff. And I started like going into like YouTube and stuff and looking at Tiesto, Dash Berlin and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe like a couple of years later after that, so that was when I was about 20. And then 22-ish, I went to Summerfield Days on the Gold Coast, that old festival at the Spit. And so that was my first Summerfield Days, and I saw Axwell play. It was before the Swedish House Mafia stuff. He had these like Diamante headphones on, like just shining and stuff, and the light shining off him. Like, oh, he's an angel. And I was just like, and that's what I was into, is like his tracks, like Watch the Sunrise and all that kind of like those ones. And I just remember like watching him play, and I was like, I want to do that. That looks sick. Like, I want to be up there. And I just went home after that and just like started researching, like, how do I become a DJ? What do I need to get and everything. And yeah, just went from there. So when I was younger, me and a friend, we bought some like really crappy old like CD deck, tape deck things. They weren't even CDJs. They were just like real basic. You didn't have any like displays on them. You couldn't see what the BPM was. You just put CDs in and you just like guessed how to mix. I couldn't even mix then. It was just like play a track. And I bought like these like speakers off, I think like cash converters or something. And I just started playing like house parties. So school parties, like not school parties. I was probably a bit older than that. So it was just basically house parties from where I lived. And yeah, I just used to bring all my stuff, and I thought I was the bomb, which was pretty cool. And I just like, it was sick though, because we get to like share all the music that we loved. And it was just that kind of time where all dance music was really taking off, like Bob Sinclair and like I was saying Axwell and all that kind of stuff. So David Guetta, it was all that era was like 2008 or something. And yeah, I went to house parties, and then I think after that, like, I was just playing for free, just for the fun of it. And I think my first paid gig I got would have been, I think it was 18th birthday party. So someone saw me play at one of the house parties, and I was like, hey, would you like play my 18th birthday party? Like, how much money do you want? I didn't charge much. It was like in the middle of nowhere. It was like so cool, like getting paid to actually do it. That was the first time. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, so I kind of started making my name for myself like in the area. So I wasn't even on the Gold Coast yet. I was actually in Tambury Mountain, which was just like middle of nowhere. There was just like a few like heaps of people had house parties, which was cool. So pretty much every house party, any birthdays, like mates birthdays, I'd always like just bring my stuff and play. Most of the time I play for free. I just love it because I just want to get my name out there. And then I think as well, like putting mixes up. So I started recording mixes. So when I updated my stuff, I got off those tape deck things and I started on a Tractor, like S4 or S6, something like that. So it was all through Tractor. So I was laptop DJ when I started. Then I started recording my mixes and putting them on SoundCloud. Just say that's a hard one. That's an easy one. That was warming up for Above and Beyond. So yeah, they're like my biggest like idols out of everyone. Axwell was up there, but then after that, it was like I was really into my trance stuff, and Above and Beyond was like the ultimate for me. And then yeah, we didn't actually think they'd ever come back to Brisbane. And last year, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. They came to Brisbane, and Harry from family asked me to play that one, and yeah, it was like sold out, so it was hectic, and it was just like, it was mad because it was like, I don't know, maybe like 1,000 people or something, and had the Injuna logo, the Injuna Beats logo behind me on the screen, and yeah, it was just like, it was just nuts. It was cool because I knew the music really well, like that's the stuff I love. So I think that's also like probably the funnest gig I've had, because it was just, I found it was nervous. I was like nervous as all hell. I was like, what the hell? And I usually don't get nervous anymore, but then I was like, holy crap, like, and I hope this don't start. I hope I don't like hit the wrong cue button or something in front of all these people. So, but it was the music I knew, so I found it pretty easy to play the gig. But yeah, it was just like, so I just walked off there and I was just like, yep, I can die now. I'm done. We went backstage and had a chat, and I was like, oh, we really like enjoyed your set. We're having a dance in the back. And I was like, yes, sweet. So that made me feel really good. But yeah, no, it was cool just to be able to chat. And then, yeah, like it got me talking into, because I make music as well. So I was like, you know, what's the best way of like me getting music to you guys? Because there's such a big record label. It's like they must get sent like a shitload of music. So it'll be hard to kind of get there. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Like, this is the email. So they gave me like an email to send my music to. So it's like, it's pretty much like you're just constantly networking. It just never stops. So you just got to ask the questions. I feel like a lot of people a bit too scared sometimes to ask, or a bit shy, which is fine. I was like that too. But most people won't care. As long as you're not like too upfront and too in your face, and you just do it naturally in a conversation, most people will be like, yeah, right. They're all pretty cool. A lot of sets I play, there can be a lot of different sets. So sometimes I'll play a prog set or a deep set. So I've always got to be prepared for all different music. And so I've like 2 USBs of like, I'm holding in my hand now, like 64 gig USBs, and I put on like as much music as I can when they have different styles, just so I'm prepared for anything. Because also as well, like there's been heaps of times where I've been out and something's gone wrong, like a DJ hasn't shown up for some reason, or their USBs doesn't work. So I've always kind of like prepared to play for someone else if it does happen, because it does happen. So yeah, during the week, organizing all my music, getting all ready. I put them in folders in record box of like, you know, say I've got a gig for, I don't know, I'm playing at the Met for Christoph. Like I'm looking at my computer now, and it's got like all my gigs. I pretty much put like a name, like what the artist is that I'm supporting, and I just put them into those. And it makes it easy for me to find the music too, because if I'm like at a gig playing a set and I'm like, oh, I need this track from this set, I can just go to that name of that set, that artist, and I'll be able to find it. But yeah, it's just in the middle of the night, just rock up. I'm always there probably at least an hour early before the gig. So, because I think it's always good as well to listen to the music before the guy or girl before you play. You never know, they could be playing something you played, or you're going to play, and you never want to play the same song someone else has, and you want to kind of feel the vibe of the room and see what the vibe is, because sometimes someone could be playing a really good set, so you're like, all right, this is working, I'm just going to go off that. Or sometimes people aren't vibing with the person before you was playing, so you've kind of got to change it up and read the crowd and go from there and see what they want. Also, talking to the crowd is good. I just go in the crowd and have a dance and kind of talk to people like, oh, you like this? Yeah, sweet. Or they don't. They'll tell me why. And it just gives you an idea of what to do. And then yeah, obviously party a bit afterwards, have a bit of fun, because, why else do we do this? It's, you got to have a bit of fun too, right? And, but obviously keep myself in check though. Like I'm never, fully out of it or too drunk or anything like that. Like you're still, because when you're out as well, you're still representing the venue or the promoter and things like that. So, I've seen a few times people just get a bit too hectic. So I always hang around. So like, that's another thing a lot of people look at is hanging around, not just bailing. It's kind of like a little bit disrespectful doing that. It's cool to hang around at least half an hour or something, and then if you need to go somewhere else, cool. And then and then just do it all again the next day and the next day, and then die for a few days afterwards. Probably, actually, all the people I've met. To be honest, when I started, I would have thought it would have been different. It would have been like being cool and all that kind of stuff. Because I guess like a lot of us might start that. Like, I don't know about everyone else, but for some of us, we're kind of a bit nerds pretty much, with some computers and things. So, like I was pretty quiet before I started, and I obviously had friends, but you're just the people that you meet through music, through mutual love of music. And it's like pretty cool the amount of people I've met now, especially like being in Brisbane the last 3 years doing gigs there. It's just like everyone's really cool. You make all these new friends and you find like-minded people, which is cool. Because a lot of people don't understand music and that side of things. If you're really into it, it's a bit different for a lot of people. Some people just go out just to go out, but some people go out because they love music, and you meet those kind of people. And I think that's probably the best bit for me. Yeah, just like I think like it's doing like social media is just like everything now, because it's really hard to like, I don't think anyone like hands out mixtapes and things anymore. Everything's all through SoundCloud, Spotify, all those Mixcloud, all those kind of things. And I think, always doing like a new mix, like not too often, maybe once a month or something like that, once a couple months, just to get your music out there. Videos, like I get heaps of videos of me playing all the time because people like to see it, and then they see a video, they're like, oh, that looks sick, let's go to his next gig. I don't think you could actually make it. There's heaps of guys or girls that are really talented, like bedroom DJs, I guess you could say, but they just they don't really get themselves out there. And I think people just got to try to get out of that mind frame and just get yourself out there. Like, I always think there's never say no to something. I've always had that mind frame. Like, I always take all the opportunities that come my way. Even gigs early on, like there'll be gigs that I've been like, oh, there's going to be no one there. It's going to be like dead, bro. I don't feel like playing it, or it's a pretty far drive. But then like the amount of times that I've like met people that's connected me to like another gig, or I've met someone else that's going to help me with like this gig or something. It's just like so many times. I'm always trying to get out as much as I can. Stuff it, like if people don't like your stuff, that's their problem. You still like it. There's going to be someone who likes it. Like at the end of the day, if you like something or some type of music or a mix or something like that, even if it's completely weird and twisted and you think no one's going to like it, you'll probably find someone else does. Like, there's a lot of things as well. Like when I started with the branding and all that kind of thing, one thing I kind of regret in a way is that I kind of tried to follow trends and be popular and go through EDM, whatever the popular like genre was at the time. And I didn't realize there were so many other people who liked the music that I liked. So probably most important advice I could give is follow what you like truly love and try to stick to it if you can. I mean, obviously you might have to play gigs where you play different music you don't want to, just to get yourself out there. That's sweet. But yeah, I just wish I didn't follow trends too much from the early days, because I'll probably be further along than I am now, but eventually I got there. So yeah. That's another thing of gigs. So that's what I was saying before about I went away from the different styles of music to follow the crowds and things, and I started following what I loved, which at the time was like trance music and prog trance kind of stuff. And I was living in the Gold Coast, and the only place that was playing it was Platinum on the Gold Coast, which isn't there anymore. But they used to have a night called Trance Essential. That was once every 2 months, and there was all these guys ahead of me. So it was really tough for me to be able to get in there, because it was like kind of like a pecking order. Like the guys who were there for ages before me were going to play first, and I was like, And to be honest, I just couldn't be bothered waiting to wait for them until I can get a chance to get up there, because I would have had to. It might have happened sooner or later, but so I kind of like just me, myself, and my friend Matthew Blank. Exactly this. He lives in New Zealand now, but we started it together because we wanted to play gigs and play our music. And so we're just like, yep, all right, let's find a venue that'll let us run events. And yeah, that's pretty much how it started. Is just for us to get gigs. and I'm still playing gigs now. So that's the fun part of it. Like, obviously it's cool, like getting other people gigs too, because you get to help your friends. And that was another thing as well. There was heaps of other friends who wanted to play, and over time I've met more and more people who are just like, they want a chance to play, and it's kind of giving them a leg up. Like if we didn't do Eden, like there's be heaps of guys who probably would still be trying to get out there. So it's all about helping other people as well, but it's good for us too. Like, why not do all the work? Meeting like a lot of guys that I've always wanted to meet, like a lot of idols. So you get to book a lot of big names. So like I really like all the Engineer Deep and Progressive, and even like one of probably one of my favorite times is when we booked a couple times. It was Dirty South we booked like the first time, because I was a huge fan since like forever. Like, you know, when he did his Evermore remix, like back in the day and all that. So we got to book him, like you'd meet your idols, pick him up from the airport, hang out and like talk music and things. That's pretty cool. Like, you know, because a lot of times you don't get a chance to do that. And then the other one was Mark Knight. We did Mark Knight at in Platinum. That was awesome too, because I've been following him for ages as well. So yeah, I probably think that's probably one of the most rewarding things, is just being able to network. And that's helped me as well with my Taglo stuff. It all kind of connects. So the whole reason why we started it was to get us gigs, but then now it's kind of working where I'm in a unique position where I now talk to all those big, like I've got them on like my phone and stuff. We're all mates because we all like the same kind of music. It's the same thing as like me and you. Like we all like similar music. And at the end of the day, all these big DJs, they're just dudes and girls who like music, and they just want to talk music, and you become friends with them, which is mad. Like, and you just get to like, and you can share your music with them. They give you feedback and things, which some will, some won't, but that's pretty cool as well, because it helps you like get a leg up, things like that. So, with the Melbourne gigs, so I started Eden in Queensland, and then we found a niche in the market in Melbourne where they weren't booking the artists that were getting in, so in Queensland and Sydney. So there was these artists, a group of style of music that wasn't getting played in Melbourne of all places, where you'd be like, what the hell? Like, you think Melbourne would have everything. And so, yeah, we just went out on a limb and just did an Eden Melbourne event and found a venue. And because we had a lot of events up here, we had heaps of good like video footage and stuff. So we looked legit, and they knew like we've done it for a while, and did our first gig there. And then that got me, I played the first one. So that got me a gig in Melbourne. So I started off doing my gigs there, and then I met more people through gigs, and then led me to other gigs. And also a lot of the agents that I book acts off, they're from Melbourne, and some from Sydney, but a lot from Melbourne. And a lot of the agents, they run their own nights and crews, so they run their own things. So because I know them, I can ask them if I want to play there, and then sometimes I'll get their guys from Melbourne to play up in Brisbane, so we'll like kind of help each other out. And same thing happened in Sydney. There's guys called Boots and Cats, which pretty much exactly the same as Eden, but Sydney. Yeah, we do. Like, they get me to play out of Sydney all the time, and I get them to play in Melbourne or Brisbane. So we all just keep helping each other out. So yeah, it's really helped out. Like even with Eden, like before I was doing Eden, I was working in retail. I was a manager at Vodafone, so I was selling mobile phones. But I learned from that doing sales and selling products to people. So that's helped me with Eden, because I can sell a show to people and know how to advertise and how to like to get certain markets and things. So everything I've done is kind of like combined into like different ways of like getting me into like events. And before I was doing that, I was at uni. I did sound production, but I also did a bunch of like advertising, like Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, which I thought I would never use. But now I can use Photoshop and things for like event posters and all that kind of stuff, and Taglo stuff. So it's funny how everything kind of, you can use anything you've pretty much learned before somehow, usually in events or DJing or something. Yeah. It's kind of like a team effort. Like with Eden, it wasn't just us. There was a bunch of guys who loved the trance music and things, and they wanted more. So we also found that niche in the market, and then we brought them more because that's what they wanted. And then, yeah, we had all those friends and all those followers, and there's still those heaps that come like since day dot. We've been around for like 4 or 5 years now. They still come now. So without them, we wouldn't have been where we are. You definitely need like a good following and a good group of people behind you. Yeah. Or Okay. And there's two different ones that I always do. I always do the box when I'm out. That's one of them. And then during my sets, whenever there's like a long breakdown, because trance can get pretty dreamy and airy fairy, I do these ones. I just stand there doing these ones, and now like I get to a point where everyone, like a bunch of people know it, and they'll start doing that as well. So it's either the box and the magical bird, and my dance moves.
Thank you for tuning in. If you found this informative, please subscribe now to our mailing list and we'll continue to send you great content. So next week we feature Jai and Koi. Stay tuned.